Hi crafty friends, it's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana. And in today's video, we are going to start making some of the ephemera that will go in to our train journals. In case you guys haven't seen the flip through of the signatures I've put in here, I thought I would take a couple minutes to flip through quickly so you could see those. Most of the pages in here are vintage. There is some Tim Holtz scrapbook paper, vintage map, a vintage Western book, ledger, and all these pages are included in the two kits that I will have available on my Ko-Fi page. This is a reproduction Sears and Roebuck advertisement. Some coffee dyed papers, a dial, some braille, and then this is a reproduction of a train certificate. These are vintage 1800, or not vintage, antique glass 1800 buttons. And this is obviously the other side of the pages. The journal that is the hardbound with the curved spine will have, just like this has original vintage documents and antique documents in it, the other one will have more of that. Not so, like for instance, this page in the hardback journal is the authentic certificate. And same with this page. This is a reproduction of a letter. It'll have the actual handwritten letter in the hardbound book. I just wanted to show you that real quick. I'm going to set that off to the side for some inspiration as I'm working on these embellishments. I also wanted to show you the two digitals from my free digital on Ko-Fi. It's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana, and I'll be sure to link the digital in the description of this video, but you can go over and print that off. It's a large digital. I think there's 30 pages, but these are the two pages I'm going to use today for focal points and other embellishments on the tags we're going to be making. Some other items you might want to pull are paper doilies, lace, and something for the top of the tag. I've got some trims, and then I have some of this leather trim as well. I haven't decided what I'm going to use. I'll see once we get them done what I think of how they look, that sort of thing. These are the master boards that I made in the Craft With Me on Friday. I'll show these to you real quick. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of look and see which masterboard these ladies will look nice up against. That's sort of what I'm doing. All right. We've got a lot of tags to make in this journal series. I think I figured up that I need a total of 30 tags for 4 journals, which obviously the hardbound big train journal book is going to need the most, but yeah. I need a lot of tags. I need lots of embellishments and ephemera. So we're going to be hitting the embellishments hard over the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping to have a video every day showing how to make a type of embellishment, and maybe even some shorts, because I don't think I'll get everything I need made by just doing a video a day. Okay, so I think save these for the cabinet card ladies. I want to use these for the conductor tags. I kind of liked this one, was kind of neat, and this one was sort of neat. Yes. Let me think here. How does this look? Is there too much color if I do that? I've got some ones that are more sepia in color that would maybe work better for this one since it has color on the background. And maybe this would be a good one. I think we'll use this one here since the ladies are in color. All right, let me move these other master boards off to the side and I'll show you how I cut my master boards to make tags and that sort of thing. All right, so I like to make my tags 3 by 6. That way I do not waste any part of my 12 by 12 master board. And typically I recommend cutting it like this. That way you're not ending up wanting to cut things differently because you see what's on top and you're thinking, oh, that would look really neat. So I like to turn mine upside down and cut in the blind, and then I get what I get. And they always look beautiful. One thing you do want to do though is make sure any edges that you still have over the 12 by 12 sheet get cut off. Otherwise it could cause you to have some crooked cuts. Double check that. All right, I think I'm good. So I'm going to put that to 6 inches and cut that down the middle. And then I will cut it to, if I do 3, that'll give me 8 tags. So I think, let's see how the ladies would fit on those. I think they'd fit nicely. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. You could also do 3.5 if you wanted. But yeah, I think these will be nice size tags. We'll do 3. That'll get us 8 out of this one piece of masterboard. Masterboards are a great way to use up when you're doing a journal and you've got lots of scrap paper from where you've done offcuts. It's a great way to use those offcuts up and have an item, because you don't even technically, if you were using, like doing a kid's journal and these were more brighter tones and not neutrals, these could just be a tag. They wouldn't necessarily have to have focal points. But since I chose neutral backgrounds, I knew I wanted focal points on mine. And that's why I went more for the neutral. But you could see where by just using your offcuts, you create another group of embellishments that you can use in your journals, and also using up your scraps and what would normally be maybe your waste. And they add so much texture to a journal as well. They're just so neat to sit and look at, and what gets in the background is just kind of cool. All right, let me move this out of the way. Now I need to cut these into tags. First, let me see what direction I'm thinking they're going to go in. So you can create a tool by using a credit card where you cut off and then all your tags have that exact edge if you like. I just cut mine off how I think it'll look best. And then I flip it over and use it for a guide on my other side so they're exact. And then I use this to cut all my rest. That's how I choose to do it, but whatever works best for you. We will be making 4 together today, but like I said, once I get off camera, I'll finish the other 4 I printed off 2 sheets of these ladies, but I wanted to show you guys which digital pages I was using. So if you're making any of this along with me, you'd be able to pull the exact same supplies. Aren't these going to be cute tags though? I just love the way these images in the background look. They're so much fun. And if you're wondering how I was able to get these items, I used this sheet here, and this is where you can think of digitals in a lot of different ways. So I literally just cut out the numbers on these tags to get those little numbers there. And I went ahead, not that I plan on using these clocks or the train signs, but I went ahead and just to not waste them, because in a future project I will more than likely use these items. They'll already be cut out. But I like to do that. I love fussy cutting. It's something I'll do when I'm watching TV, and it's just kind of relaxing, kind of like when I made the master boards. It's just a really relaxing hobby to do that's doesn't require a ton of thought while you're doing it, which is nice. It's a great way to unwind in the evenings. All right. I'm really excited about this series. I haven't made a train journal before, so this will be my first one, but I have done Victorian journals, and they're one of my favorite types of journals to make. They're just so beautiful and fun to flip through and look at. Usually kind of pretty heavy on the lace. So if that's your aesthetic, you might want to join us. All right, let me pick out the 4 backgrounds I like the best. I don't know about that one yet. That's a maybe. So I definitely think I like these 3. Don't know about that one. That'll be covered up, so that wouldn't be too bad. I like that has that ledger there. Ooh, this one's I bet's neat too, because look at the ledger. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's just see what we think of these ladies. Okay, I really like that. I'm not sure about this one. The gentleman in the back seems a bit too prominent to me. I like that one. Is there any other ones that have quite a bit of a ledger towards the top? If you guys hear noise in the background, I live close to a police firing range. It's where they go do their practice, that sort of thing. So I apologize if you're hearing that in the background. Okay. Not a fan. Okay, I think those will be the 4 I do. All right. And then we will go ahead and put some doily behind them, I think. I think that could be pretty. Now, I do have some antique doilies that I could maybe pull for that might look even better. I don't know, or the white might look good with all the tan that we've got going. Boy, that's a big one. I don't know about that. Maybe move her up a little bit. like those better when they're up higher. So let's see, what about that one there? That one almost looks too big to me. I think we'll do the first class on this one. I like that pretty good. Okay. What does it look like with just a number though? Oh, I think that looks better. I need to stop trying to have words and everything. Let me try just a number. Okay. Yep, that looks better for sure. All right. And let's see. Do I want to do one of these lace doilies behind here or not? Or I could do some lace along the bottom as well. Let me get some of my other lace out. Or I could even do like a little piece of corner lace. No, I don't like that. No, Luke. Sorry, guys, I am making a mess. Okay, let me get some of my different laces out that I might consider using. Sort of wanted to use these. Oh, those are so pretty though. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Okay, so this is the lace. I can put this other up because I just figured out the lace I'm using. Now then, I've got to decide if I want to put a doily behind these or not. And then I'd have that piece of lace underneath layered as well. I kind of like just that, I think, and the lace underneath with just this little edge popping out. I almost feel like that would be enough. Let's try one, and then we can always do something different on the next one if we don't just love it. This. I love this lace. It's so pretty. I've used it in a lot of projects. I get it at Hobby Lobby, but it is such a delicate, beautiful lace, and it looks old even though it's not. You can hear the geese outside my window. All right, that is really pretty. I'm just wondering, do we want to layer more or save this for another project? Let's see. Let me assemble one and then we'll decide. I already inked the ladies when I was cutting them out. I want to show you a really cool effect that I discovered. So they're wearing blue, and I used blue ink, and it kind of gives them like a, almost like a backlight glow. I just love that. It's subtle, but it really is a neat effect. So that's something that I just accidentally figured out how to do in the course of crafting. But I will definitely be utilizing that with my colored inks, using it like as a backlight almost. when you use a lighter ink up against a darker image. Just be real light with it. Got my $40 glue order placed on Amazon today. My goodness, I go through the glue. All right, there's that. Now then, let's start gluing. So in the letter that I'm going to include in these journals, Clara is the name of the fiance going out west. I think about stuff like that when I'm making the ephemera. It's like, okay, does this look like something Clara would look like? So when I made these digitals, I was thinking about stuff like that. Let that dry for a minute. Put this down. Now you can take your sewing machine and sew around these as well. I haven't decided if I will do that or not. So like you could just put a thin straight line all the way around on these. That would look good too. These tags are pretty simple. We're just layering 3 pieces on, and then we'll add an eyelet and some type of ribbon. Oh yeah, those are cute. Those are adorable. Yeah, I can't wait till well, I can wait because we're just getting started on this series, but when we do our wrap party for this series, I'm excited to give away one of these journals. I think this will be one of the prettiest journals yet. So if you have not subscribed and you would like to be eligible for the free journal at the end, all you have to do is subscribe and then mark your calendars when I post when I'm having my wrap party, and you can win a journal. No, that's not going to come up, but it's definitely a little three-dimensional there. Isn't she beautiful? I just love this image. This needs trying just a little bit, it looks like. So one thing I like about this style of tag, it just shows that tag doesn't have to be super complicated to be beautiful. Just by adding a few beautiful elements like the lace, the focal point. These master boards create some beautiful, beautiful tags. All right, there we are. I'm gonna let that dry for a second while I get my eyelets and my setter. It's one thing with this being a train journal, I am going to use a lot of hardware in making it. I think it'll add to the aesthetic. So that's the color we'll go with. Sorry for that squeaky noise, my goodness. Okay, so I like to set my crocodile. That way I know I'm going to the exact same place every time. I do just eyeball that I've got the center here. If you don't have an eyelet setter, you can use a hole punch to do this. That would be fine as well. There's no reason to feel like you have to go out and get all the tools in the beginning. If you're new to this hobby, use what you have. And if you don't have either of those things, you could just put a piece of lace, ribbon, or paper up here, fold it over, and do it that way. So there's lots of ways of accomplishing these types of looks without having to spend a lot of money. Most of us, after we've done it for a little while, enjoy also the part of the hobby where we start acquiring things too, though. So most of us start getting all the things. All right, let me set that. was thinking it would look neat to use this leather trim here. My question was, what color should I use? So this is our cover to our journal. And like, would a little bit of color look good? Or do we want to stay with these neutrals and keep it more vintage looking? That's my dilemma. That's too bright. The burgundy is kind of pretty. But I think I'm going to just go with the brown. Find the beginning of it here. There we go. See how many inches that is. So that's 8 inches. If I end up liking this length, I just can cut the rest. 8 inches. Stick it through there. Let me go ahead and ink this real quick. Okay. So the 8 inches gives you enough of the trim to be able to get a knot tied and pull it up. I like that. That's what I think. Those look cute. I think those look like baggage tickets kind of with that on there. That's neat. So that's what I'm going to do with the others. Make sure you don't forget, like I almost did, to ink them. It'll be a whole lot easier to ink them before you put this tie on than after. You can get this leather trim like this at Hobby Lobby. I got mine while I was thrifting. Found a box of it that had just about every color you could think of. But again, you could use ribbon, torn paper, torn material would look good as a tie. All right, so tomorrow's video, we will be working on these ladies' male counterparts, making tags for them, and then we might use some of our master boards to make some journal cards. I know I want to make some pockets. No, Luke. No, no. No, no, bub. Sorry about that, guys. I've got my front door open, and the maintenance gentleman who takes care of everyone's yards out here just went by. So those are inked. Now let's put the ties on them and we'll look at them together. Well, Luke, they know you're in here. Yeah, buddy. There's that. Just remember when you're making your different embellishments in ephemera in your own journals, using different materials, I feel like adds so much richness and texture to an embellishment. You know, on this we've got the master board, we've got the focal points, the tickets, the lace, we've got these leather ties, we've got our brass eyelet, and all that together. And then we could have sewn, that would have been another layer on here. Just adds so much to the looks of your tags and makes them look really neat. All right, so let's take a look at these. I like them all, but I really like this one, and I really love her. I just think she's so pretty, but they're all very pretty. I like them. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know if you liked this embellishment that we made together. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video in the series. And if you know anyone that you think would like to see it, feel free to share my video. Don't forget to keep it cute, keep it crafty, and keep making something out of nothing. Bye!